Hey guys, welcome back. Right now it is 3:50 in the afternoon. This clip really has nothing to do with the video at all. I just wanted to say hey because it's just been a minute. I hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate you guys clicking on this video today. I'm gonna be doing a girl talk slash spa night type of deal, and at first I was gonna buy like a bunch of unnecessary spa night type of products for this video, but realistically there's absolutely nothing I need in order to film this video. I already have everything that I could ever need to film this video. So instead of wasting money for absolutely no reason, I'm not gonna get anything because I have face masks. My hair is in braids, so I'm not gonna be doing hair mask or anything like that. You know, shaving, the most I'll get is an exfoliant. That's about it. I don't really need anything. But I just wanted to say hey. I just got back from lunch with some friends and it was so nice. They just recently opened a bar taco in Wynwood. It is gorgeous. The atmosphere is everything. I got my leftover plantains. Plantains are another thing that I never even tried until I moved here, and I'm literally in love. These hit the spot like entirely. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside. I just wanted to say hi, welcome, and I will get back to you guys a little bit later. Does that look better? This. Definitely this. Hi guys, so it is a couple hours later. And I am back at the house. We're gonna go ahead and get this video started. Majority of what's happening today is definitely happening in the tub, which is why I went ahead and cleaned it. You know, I take a lot of showers, but whenever it's time to actually sit in our own filth, I'm gonna make sure like at least the tub is clean beforehand. Before I get into the tub, the only thing I really have planned to do is apply a face mask, and we're gonna need to put my hair up in a shower cap because I do not want to get it wet. I could, you know, wrap it around and do the bun, but I don't want to. I'm trying to, of course, preserve the braids and try to keep them look nice. It's been a minute since I brought my car tripod inside. I actually had to get a new one because clearly, if you watched my last video, I did not have it in my possession. It broke. I'm not really gonna do a whole lot of talking, to be honest, until we get into the tub, because I just feel like that's where we're going to really wind down and actually talk. I do have these two face masks that I like to use. I really don't do face masks often whatsoever. You know, sometimes it'll come to me, wow, I have not done a face mask in forever, or maybe if I'm with a friend. That's about it. But I have the Teamy Detox Mask, the green tea blend. I was sent this product once when I was 17 years old, and ever since then I've just continued to purchase it. I love it. This is a great detox mask. So we have this, and then I also have the Glossier Mega Greens Galaxy Pack Detoxifying Face mask. So you can see I kind of go for like similar theme. Like I definitely have a type when it comes to face masks. This one, as it dries on your skin, it's visible. It's gonna turn a lighter green. This one kind of stays the same. It doesn't really have much of a scent to it. It's definitely, it looks like a clay mask. Actually, I guess that's what this one is also. What was I gonna say? Oh, also I got my nails done yesterday and I love them. These are my nails. They're gorgeous. Honestly, at this length, they might as well be acrylic overlay. I wasn't intentionally gonna get them this short. I normally go a little bit longer, but one of them had chipped when she was filing them, and instead of rebuilding all the nails, I just said, let's go. We can just file them down. I'm good. You know, this is more convenient for me anyway. But I think I'm gonna go in with this detox mask and apply this all over my face. I'm using one of my face mask applicators that I got from Amazon just to give us a smooth application. It has really been a while since I've actually put any real effort into my skin other than putting sunscreen on. I feel like that's, I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. But it's been months since I've done a face mask. Is this actually benefiting my skin? I don't really know, but my skin does feel really nice by the time I take it off, so I'm just gonna go with that. Okay, close enough. I'm not really even gonna try to apply it to the sides of my face because it's gonna get in my edges. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off, and then we need to throw on a little bathing suit top. Y'all know the drill at this point. Okay, I just threw on a bathing suit. We got this brown one on. Actually have never worn this bathing suit top before, but it's so cute. I need to go to the beach. Okay, and then my shower cap. I have two of them. Probably gonna go with this one. I don't feel like this one really holds my hair in. It's kind of big. This works. Yeah, because I'm not even going to be really getting a whole lot wet. Okay, we're gonna run the tub. I actually got some bubble bath a couple months back because I filmed this video but I didn't finish it. I just wasn't in the best mood or headspace on that given day, and that's like the worst time to give advice, so I just threw the video away. With that being said, I already know this bubble bath is ass, but it's gonna have to do the job. This is from Ulta. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is because I don't recommend it. And I also have some Epsom salt for the sore muscles because, you know, we've been going hard at the gym, so, you know. And that's it. I have some more Epsom salt up there, but I'm not gonna need any more than this. Why can I not speak? All right. Oh yeah, don't you do this once the tub is on. I'm so blessed to have such a spacious tub, and I just don't take baths. Like, this should be a weekly occurrence for me. I almost sprayed this in here on accident. We got the coconut oil and some salt. Oh shit, that's a lot. Maybe I should do some coconut oil to like nourish my skin. Is that doing too much? Probably. Okay, I don't really need that much water in it. The one thing about getting in the tub is just adjusting to the heat, but then it's like the moment you get adjusted to the heat of the tub, it gets cold. Okay, this is good, right? Okay. The last time I tried to film this video, I, you know, had my little bath tray and everything, and I put the camera on there. But for this video, I'm trying to specifically, I felt like going with the filming style and setup that I had the very first time I did a video like this, which was back when I was 17 years old. Definitely going for more of the setup of that video, just when it comes to the setup of the camera. That's the only thing I'm taking from that video. But yeah, wow, this is crazy because I feel like it has been so long since I have just sat down and talked with you guys. I feel like I've just been on go when it comes to filming content, and I feel like I've just been in, how do I even explain it, like autopilot when it comes to filming, and I haven't really just sat and spoken in my videos other than just commentating what I'm doing, where I'm going, that type of thing. And I feel like I definitely have a reason for doing that, though. It wasn't really super intentional, but whenever I, you know, I actually take a step back and look at the bigger picture of everything, I've definitely become like a lot more closed off than I used to be when it comes to my channel. I wouldn't even say more closed off. I'm just a little more private. I don't care to be seen as much when it comes to social media and things, so I'm not sitting on my phone posting so many stories a day where it literally looks like little ants on the top of your screen. I'm not saying I'll never do that, but I've just kind of found more of a balance that I'm comfortable with, where, you know, I can share portions of my life with you guys that I personally feel comfortable sharing, and then I can still have, you know, things that I don't share on the internet whatsoever. So yeah, not being secretive whatsoever, but when it comes to girl talks and things like this is something I'm completely open to doing more of. I just haven't. I feel like I'm really hard on myself when it comes to, what? I'm in the tub. You want to come in? I'm fine, I promise. Promise. He's so curious. He has no idea. I also just feel like that's a part of growing up, though. I feel like whenever I first started YouTube and content creation and gaining some sort of traction in that way, I don't know, whenever you're younger, you're just a little more, not gullible, but I mean, there's just so much that comes with getting older. You know, I remember, I feel like my worst phase on social media was when I was 17 years old. I loved 2019. If I could relive it, I would. I have a blister. Probably from sandals. But I just felt like I found myself trying so hard to prove myself to people, and like, yeah, I would just take shit to heart, but literally, no. I thought we were definitely long overdue for a girl talk, just answering questions, sitting down talking type of video. This has been a tradition on my channel ever since I was 17 years old. We've done a lot of girl talks in the tub. I have not done one since I moved, and that's an issue. So I went ahead and screenshotted some questions. I went ahead and posted something on my story while I was still out of town before I came back to Miami. I had you guys ask questions. I got amazing feedback and just questions to answer that I'd love to touch on. And yeah, today is the day we're actually executing that video. So glad you guys are here. Get comfortable, grab some snacks. You know, it's time to chill. This is literally me and you time. It's like we're on FaceTime. I'm gonna sit here and talk to you guys the same exact way I'll talk to my friends. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it before I literally pass out from how hot the tub is. I tried to screenshot questions from all different topics, kind of all correlated, but a little bit of everything. I did have some people ask fitness related questions as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some of those. I have a lot of energy right now and I feel really good, and I'm really excited to film this video. So if I feel like I'm talking at a million miles a minute or anything like that, just know that's why. And I'm out of breath. Like, I feel like I'm panting because it's hot in here. But let's go ahead and get into the first question, which is the best feminine wash. And as I'm doing this, I've let my hair grow out for this video so we can shave, do all that together. I didn't get an exfoliant from Target because I realized I didn't need one. I have a little bit left of this one right here from Tree Hut that we're gonna use. But my absolute favorite feminine wash, first of all, there's so much like controversy when it comes to different feminine wash from different brands for very solid reasons, I would say. I've never been one to use Vagisil, or what's the other brand that's really similar to that? It was one of the first brands I ever heard of that a lot of people use, but then it was kind of discovered that, you know, it's not the best for your pH and just your vaginal health in general. I've never used any of those, but the one thing I did like to use, the first feminine wash, like official feminine wash that I used, was Honey Pot. I loved Honey Pot. You know, I felt very comfortable using it. I had never seen anything like it. Super simple ingredient. It never irritated me. It kept things clean and fresh, all of that. But then recently, I feel like it was maybe like 3 months ago at this point, I think they sold their company. So now I don't know who it's ran by, but they completely changed the formula of their products, and it went from being, didn't it go from being like organic, no, plant-based, to plant extracts or something? I don't know. It was sus. I had ended up purchasing another bottle before I knew that they had made that change, because, you know, for a while they weren't in the stores anymore. And I remember throughout that time I was asking my friends, like, have you guys seen Honey Pot anywhere? And that was before I heard anything about it. So the moment it came back in store, I just saw Honey Pot again and I purchased it. But yeah, that's when I started seeing posts about it, and if I can avoid that at all costs, I'm going to. So now, long story short, that was not short at all, I just like to use regular is not in here, Castile soap, baby unscented Castile soap. I'll use that, or I'll go in with the Dove sensitive bar. You can also just use water. Your vagina does naturally clean itself. Our bodies are amazing and kind of do that process for us. But you know, if you're one that likes to get a little deeper clean, those are the two things that I use personally. Everybody's body is gonna react to things differently, but yeah, I don't use anything else. So the next question is how to get a boyfriend. So I screenshotted this question because there was definitely a point in my life where I would ask a question like this. There's so many layers to unfold with this question. I would say, just so you know, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not about to give you advice on how to get a boyfriend, because I don't feel like it's natural to go out of your way to look for a significant other. I am all about, you know, attracting things to you. I really do feel like what is meant for you will be yours at the right time. And you know, I've been through phases where it has taken me so long to get here, but I've been through so many phases where I just felt like I just needed a significant other. For a lot of people, it's easy. You know, they feel lonely. They feel as if a significant other or boyfriend is going to complete, a boyfriend, girlfriend is going to complete them. They feel like a significant other is just going to heal this part of them. And I'm not saying in a healthy relationship things can't be healed, but I don't think you should ever go out of your way to get a boyfriend. I don't know. I feel like if it was really meant for you, you wouldn't have to look, and when the time is right, that person will come to you. Because especially, I don't know how old you are. It really doesn't matter how old you are, especially during these years of our lives. I'm 20. I am not even 21 years old yet. My brain is not even fully developed. I'm gonna be 21 in November. I am not ready. I didn't even ask to be on this earth. I'm very thankful that I'm here, but like, you telling me I'm spawned, I'm enjoying being a kid, you're gonna continue to grow, and then you're telling me as I grow up, things have to change and I gotta do different things and I gotta make different moves, because I'm not ready for that. Like, who said I was ready for all that? 21? I just feel like it's kind of nerve-wracking because the older you get, I feel like people have a higher standard for you and what you should be doing at certain ages, which is kind of terrifying. I'm getting completely off topic. Anyways, I'm saying that these are the years of our lives where we are going to go through so much mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and I just feel like those experiences, for me personally, I think I would benefit most from not being in a relationship, because whenever you're in a relationship, you know, you're gonna have to obviously understand and listen to your partner, and there's just certain things you may not do or you may not ever try if you were in a relationship. Whenever you're in a relationship, it's so easy to be influenced by the other person and make decisions to, you know, make the other person comfortable or compromise for that person, and I just feel like that's not something that's really necessary or needed whatsoever ever. But especially for our age, like, imagine if I just was in a relationship with some manipulative, toxic, narcissistic person for my 20s. I would be coming out of my 20s a completely different person than if I were just by myself, making my own decisions, didn't have to run things that I want to do through somebody else. I didn't have to think, oh, like, I want to do this, you know, I want to get this done, but my partner doesn't want me to do that. We are too young for that. So I say, just live your life, boo. Please. These are the years where you can just focus on yourself, be alone, and just know you can move on your own terms without feeling like you need to run things through somebody else. And I'm not saying that doesn't work for a lot of people, because it does. Some people don't enjoy that, and that's fine. But for me personally, so the next question is, I want to move out of state so bad, but I'm scared. Tips. So, you know, I'm assuming you're asking me this question because I myself have moved out of state. I am 20 years old and I moved away from my family in North Carolina to live in Miami, Florida. So obviously, you know, that's about a 2.5 hour, like 2 hour flight and 13-hour drive. It really just depends on, yes, it's scary. After living with the same group of people for, you know, 18, 20 plus years, you get really adjusted to that lifestyle. You get adjusted to having so many people around you, and, you know, being in the same environment for such a long period of time, you get really used to it. You know, like the back of your hand. Like Raleigh, that is my hometown. I wasn't born in North Carolina. I was actually born in Virginia. I remember it briefly, but we moved when I was 5, so I'm from North Carolina. But yeah, like I knew it like the back of my hand, and for a while that felt really good. I didn't even think anything of it. You know, I still love visiting. I can appreciate it even more, and I have a different love for it now that I don't live there. It's like going on vacation, because anywhere that you don't live, it's like going on vacation. For the longest time, I didn't think anything of it, but I seriously got to the point, it didn't even have anything to do with my age, but I just got to the point where I wanted something different. I wanted a different environment. I just wanted a different environment to evolve in, to grow in, to experience. And ever since I visited Florida for the first time, which was around 14 years old, I think, I knew I wanted to live here one day. You can ask anyone. I've always loved Florida, and this was just a place that I knew I was going to want to move at some point. But obviously, if you don't need to move out of the state and that's something that really scares you and you're not ready to do, don't feel pressured into moving into another state. You can completely thrive and have a new environment and a new space in your state. I don't know, like I could say like fuck being scared, just go for it. But if you're already having those feelings before you've even moved, you know, you could either have an amazing breakthrough and be like, wow, I'm really happy that I went forward with this, or, you know, realistically, I've been in a situation where, you know, I thought that I was gonna really like the area. I thought it was for me and it just wasn't, and that's okay also. If you're trying to move out of state and you don't even have a state in mind of where you want to go, that could be very scary. But maybe if you're looking to move out of state, if you could, I mean, yeah, it can be scary moving somewhere where you have no friends and family. If you require, you know, a circle of people around you constantly, then yeah, it's gonna be harder than if you just are completely okay with being by yourself. You're okay with it taking time to make connections. But if you feel like you're ready for that, you can do it. Like, you're capable. If that's something that you really want to do and you in your heart feel like that's what's best for you, then I say go for it. It's really just up to you. I feel like you should feel comfortable and confident in your decision before you go through with such a big move, moving to a completely different state, because I mean, packing up and moving all the way back, once you move out of state, it's just not gonna be an option. Like, it can be, but you're gonna want to make sure that you're feeling really good about that decision, and that's just gonna, you know, take time. It's really what you think would be best for you. Let me change the battery. If he jumps in this tub, he is going to be very disappointed because he's looking really curious right now. What you doing? Oh yeah, I have you guys on my suitcase because it's like perfectly leveled with the tub. He is hanging out with me. He's hanging out with us. Okay, voice, if you say so. We'd love to have you here. He's so cute, like he's literally sitting on the toilet watching me. Next question is, my boyfriend talks about his exes throughout a relationship. It did stop, but the topic still pops up. For me personally, that's an automatic red flag. I don't know, I feel like even if I'm getting to know somebody and they bring up their ex, you know, when you're not even on that level or it wasn't initiated to have a conversation about that, if you didn't ask, then no. Like, that's just disrespectful, and it's clear that he's still thinking about them because, I mean, why would he bring it up if he wasn't thinking about it? I bring up things all the time that are on my mind, and especially if you've had a conversation about it before, about how it makes you uncomfortable, and he's still bringing it up, that's an issue. I feel like you should not have to ask more than once. If he genuinely took into account how that makes you feel, and he's still doing it, there's not much else you can do other than keep it pushing. But I feel like not talking about ex, that's such a... I'm not even gonna like put men in common sense in the same category, to be honest, no offense, but if you're offended, that ain't my problem. You're probably part of the issue. Yeah, I feel like the only time it's appropriate to bring up an ex in a relationship is if you guys are having a conversation. I don't feel like it hurts to have the conversation about why the last relationship ended, because what if he was cheating? What if he got caught cheating? Like, wouldn't you want to know before you get serious? So you can kind of learn each other's triggers, learn about things that you shouldn't avoid, but things that you may need to work through. I don't feel like that's a bad conversation to have. That's a question I would definitely ask. But this, no. How do you make new friends in a whole new environment? So this would kind of depend on the person. For me, I've been able to make friends that live in this area via social media. I mean, that's kind of how, you know, people in this generation are connecting nowadays. Why do I sound like a grandpa? Like, I feel like this first year, I definitely didn't prioritize making friends. Even as of recently, over these last couple of weeks, I have made new connections. I've gone out with people that I'm starting to get to know. You know, I'm making plans. And the thing is, I'm a very social person when it's time to be social, but I'm also okay with being by myself. But just because I'm okay with being by myself doesn't mean I'm not human and I don't crave social interaction. Like, yeah, you can go outside, you're gonna say hey, hi, and thanks to strangers, but that doesn't hit the same as actually having a personal friendship with somebody, of course. So I'll say via social media, or you can put yourself in situations or environments where, you know, there's people that are probably gonna have common interests as you. You know, maybe you want to take a yoga class, and you know, that's putting yourself in an environment where you have the opportunity to make friends. Maybe you enjoy going out, you know, you can make connections that way. I would say take some of your hobbies or things that you enjoy doing and try to, you know, if there's places you go or clubs that you join or, you know, things of that nature that kind of give you access to more people. I feel like that's a good way to go. It's super, to strike up conversation, you can literally ask them a question, you can compliment their outfit, you could just be honest, like, I'm looking for friends, would you be willing to, you know? But yeah, I feel like this year specifically, I didn't prioritize making friends. It was more of getting adjusted to the area, and I've just been so okay in like my own little bubble, to be honest. And it's not like I don't have friends back home, so whenever I do go back and visit North Carolina, I have friends. I have friends in Orlando. I have more friends in Orlando than I do here. But this next year, I am really making sure that I prioritize creating just a bigger circle of friends for myself. I'm saying it now, and it's going to happen. It's already starting to happen. You know, I'm speaking it into existence. I'm just taking more of an initiative, put myself out there and just try it. You know, if things don't work out, that's okay. You're not gonna click with everyone. And then, you know, once you make friends, you can make mutual friends because your friends are gonna have friends. And I feel like that's how that kind of works. And then of course, if you're in a new environment such as school, which I feel like that's a great place to make new connections. I don't know. I've really had to unlearn and understand that there is good people in the world. Not everybody's out to get you. Not everybody has your worst interests in mind. If you go into it with that mentality and just close yourself off in that way, you're never gonna have friends. So yeah, but for me personally, Instagram is the way to go. DMs, and then make them plans, go through with it, and then if that goes well, you can just continue to make plans until you guys are on that level where y'all just, you know, can chill at each other's crib and go to the gas station together, because those are the best type of friendships. Thoughts on dating / relationships very late in life. So I wanted to answer this one because of the way they worded it, as in, you know, relationships very late in life. I feel like late is completely, what's the word? It's never too late to find your person. And I mean, yeah, you never know when you're gonna find your person. What if, you know, you don't find your person until 50 years old? There's nothing wrong with that. I know realistically, people that want to be in a relationship will kind of have, by a certain age, I'd like to do this and that. But I feel like that can be stressful, and you definitely don't want to say, you know, for example, I want to be in a relationship by 25, married by 27. It's getting around that time, you still haven't found the one. So the last thing you want to do is settle, just go with somebody that, you know, you're not completely head over heels for. You know, it's not gonna last. So I feel like everybody finds their person at different phases of life. It may take decades, it may take multiple people, multiple relationships, multiple marriages to find your person. You know, everybody's on their own path, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this is a good question. Do you have body dysmorphia since you started your bulk journey? So I wanted to ask, or I wanted to answer this because I do get questions really frequently as far as my bulking process. And I know I said I was gonna do a video about it, but then I'm very back and forth about it, and I'm very iffy about it because, I mean, the way I bulked, really, I mean, I just googled what I should be doing to reach my goal, and basically what I did is I went into a calorie surplus and I was lifting heavy. And the more that you eat, especially when it's the right food that's gonna fuel your body properly, you know, you're gonna be able to use that fuel in the gym, and you're gonna be able to lift heavier, because, you know, the heavier, whenever it's time to bulk, we're lifting heavy, you know what I mean? So this is the first bulk I've ever done. I'm not super knowledgeable in the field, so I didn't want to like sit here and sell you guys a video when there's gonna be so many better videos to watch on YouTube when it comes to how to bulk. But I know, you know, especially for people that have watched me for years and have literally just watched my body transform and just change a lot in a matter of 4 months, like, y'all want to know how I did it. So that's exactly what I did. But the thing about my bulk, I did what's called a dirty bulk. Royce is like on, which is basically where you're not really prioritizing any type of nutrients per se. I basically aimed more for calories than protein. And when you're just focused on calories, you can eat anything to get to that number, and you're going to gain, but it may not be in the way that you would like to. So like, could I have did what's called a clean bulk and ate really clean, just more food, and, you know, avoided some of the extra fat on my body and the excessive bloating I was going through? Yes, but that wasn't really realistic for me. I was still able to reach my goals, and now that I've reached kind of where I want to be, I can like tweak things. And I've learned it's much more important to prioritize protein than it is calories. But if you are going to want to gain weight, you're going to have to eat. I'm gonna put a timestamp for people that don't want to hear about numbers, or, you know, anyone that has any sensitivity to that. Basically, before I started bulking, whenever I actually decided that I wanted to gain weight, my eating schedule was horrible. Like, I just wasn't eating enough. I somehow got through the day just not eating enough food. Like, I wasn't restricting myself in any way, but the less you eat, you know, your body's gonna adjust to eating less. And I wasn't tracking anything at the time, but I would say I was maybe eating 1,500 calories a day, which is just not enough for the human body. Typically, they suggest you eat at least 2,000 calories a day, but I'm not a doctor. I am not any type of professional, but that's what it's known to eat, that much in a day. So basically what I did, I went from eating probably 1,500 calories, and I started slow. I upped my calorie intake to 2,300. And just in case you're curious on like, how am I supposed to know how many calories I'm supposed to eat in order to reach my goals, there's apps you could go on Google and look up. They're basically like these calculators where you put in your weight, your height, your goals, how active you are, and it'll tell you exactly how much protein. Yeah, for that one it was specifically how much protein you should be eating a day to reach your goals. But I started with 2,300 calories. I, you know, made sure I was reaching that consistently, and over the next few weeks, like that alone, I was able to see progress because it was already nearly double what I'm used to eating. So then, you know, after I adjusted to that, I bumped it up to 2,700 calories a day because, you know, I was enjoying my progress, but I wouldn't have minded, you know, progressing a little bit quicker. So then I went to 2,700 calories a day, and, you know, I was consistently, sometimes I would always eat breakfast. Lunch was questionable. Sometimes I would just snack throughout the day until I got to until I got to dinner, which I just don't advise. That's why I would feel kind of uncomfortable filming a video about it, because like, I don't suggest what I did, but it worked. But I'm not even saying I was eating like Rice Krispie treats and toaster strudels all day. I was making sure, you know, I was getting a good amount of protein in daily. I would say around the time I was probably eating around, I don't know, 90 to 100, probably less than 100 grams of protein a day. But with all the protein snacks I was eating, you know, I was getting a good amount of protein, enough to see progress. I would eat, you know, throughout the day, like my protein muffins, protein chips, Greek yogurt, the Ensure drinks. I remember the very first video where I said I was planning to gain weight, so if y'all see me drinking those drinks, just know what's up, basically. Yeah, those, like I'll drink 2 of those a day, and that's 700 calories in itself. So those would be a huge help. And then with me adding 400 calories extra into my daily intake, I was seeing progress even quicker. So then I was enjoying my progress, but I still wasn't exactly where I wanted to be. I didn't have a goal weight. I just, you know, I was liking my results and I was willing to keep gaining. So I went up to 3,000 calories a day, and that's where shit just like fucking escalated. I feel like that's when I saw people like, literally, where did this come from? And it was because I was eating 3,000 calories a day. Whenever you're going in a calorie surplus, I do not suggest just going full on eating 3,000 calories a day. And depending on, and it's gonna completely depend on you what that number is gonna be. That's why I'm not gonna suggest a number, because it's completely different. Yeah, with that being said, that's where I saw fucking crazy ass progress very quickly. So yeah, I was eating like 3,000 calories a day for like a month, I would say. It takes discipline. But then I realized I was getting very bloated. My stomach, like normally I'd wake up and my stomach was, you know, on the flatter side, because the first thing in the morning before you have anything in your system is probably the flattest your stomach is going to be throughout the day. And there's nothing wrong with having chub on your belly or not having a flat stomach, because that's literally not realistic. Like, we have uteruses. Not all of us, but you know, it's not gonna be flat. I've never really, I can't even remember the last time I prioritized having a flat stomach. Like, please get that out of your head. But so it's like, this just isn't normal. Like, I'm not used to my body feeling this bloated so early in the day. Like, it was just to the point where it wasn't even natural for my body. So I found, or from what I've heard, drinking most of your calories opposed to eating them, eating whole foods, it's just not gonna be the same type of weight that you're putting on. For me, my goal is to gain weight, but bulking and gaining are completely different things. Anybody can just, you know, eat whatever and eat a lot of it and gain weight, but bulking is when you're also, you know, you're in a calorie surplus and you're lifting heavy weights, so you are working the body parts that you want to build. So that's how I was able to kind of build and sculpt my body to how I wanted it to look as I was eating all this protein, as I was eating all these calories, because I was lifting in the process. But yeah, so basically once I cut those Ensure shakes out of my diet, it was so much better. I have not had those shakes in months. They're actually not good for you either. So yeah, apparently they're pretty horrible for you as far as like the ingredients in them. So they do work. They definitely helped me to where I am today, but I do not drink them anymore. I will make my own protein shake that has well over 700 calories in it in itself, just one shake, and it's good and it's drinkable. So I would say now I'm not focusing on gaining any more weight because I'm happy with where I'm at. It's just more of a maintenance thing, so making sure that I'm still consistently eating 3 meals a day. That's always the goal, and you know, stacking throughout the day as well. I'm still eating, like yesterday I had 160 grams of protein in a day. Like, protein is still on 10 because I'm trying to maintain this. I'm just really trying to, you know, build and sculpt at this point. But I've always worked out just because I love it, and it's been a part of my life consistently since, I mean, you can go back to my channel when I was 14 years old. I was still working out. It's always been a part of my lifestyle. But I just got to the point where, okay, like, I've looked the same for the last 2 years and I want to see some change, and I made that shit happen. It takes consistency, it takes dedication, it is hard, okay? There was times where I'd be down in that shake that I did not want to drink at 12 a.m. and I'm not saying I'm not saying that's like the best, but I mean, to get them calories in, you gotta do what you gotta do. If that's, you know, if that's what you're trying to do, this is my experience, okay? This is what I did. You know, sometimes I'd be full, like, damn, I'm full, but that was to the extent it would get. There was maybe, I'd say a total of maybe a week, like if I put all the days together, maybe 7 days total, that I didn't reach that goal. But any other day I reached that fucking number. And when I moved here, I was 130, 135 pounds. It would always fluctuate between that consistently for, I'd say, at least a year. And then I now weigh consistently first thing in the morning, nothing, 165. That scale has hit 170, but that was after like a long day eating because weight fluctuates. But I now weigh 165 pounds. I've literally gained 30 pounds since I moved here. So yeah, that shit, it worked, okay? And now, right now, like, I'm really just focusing on eating cleaner. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm eating more whole foods, eating more fruits and vegetables, and prioritizing protein. That's it. Like, I'm not really doing anything crazy anymore, but you know, I still have to eat consistently to maintain what I have. But it's definitely ain't going anywhere that easy. Like I put on some weight. So now that I've kind of explained that, because I've had so many people asking, that way I can kind of, that is what I did. If I were to film a video, that's pretty much everything I would say. But when it comes to if I've had body dysmorphia, I've had a couple people ask, like, how do you feel about your weight gain type of thing, questions like that, because I feel like we've been so conditioned to think that gaining weight is a bad thing, especially in the fitness world, because growing up, you know, most women worked out to lose weight. A lot of people don't make fitness a part of their life until it's time to lose weight.
If you have set a goal for yourself to lose weight in the gym, that's amazing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing whatsoever. I'm basically just saying that there's more to fitness than that. So, you know, for people that don't have a goal of losing weight, just trying to explain that you can go for more than the reason of just becoming smaller, because that's so outdated.
And in this generation, a lot of us women, we want to be strong. We want to feel, a lot of women want to be muscular. They want to build, you know, they want to build their body to what they want it to be. And I always feel like fitness, it should always be more about how it makes you feel and, you know, you feeling strong opposed to what it's going to make you look like. But I'm still not answering the question. As far as me dealing with body dysmorphia, I definitely wouldn't take it to that extent. I feel like all of us have days where, you know, one day we're feeling like really confident in what we're wearing, and the other day we could be wearing the same outfit and just feel the absolute opposite. Like, that's normal. I don't know, I don't want to say, I hate when people say, for example, they have ADHD just because they're hyper and they don't. Like, just say you have a lot of energy. Like, you're doing too much. No, I have not had body dysmorphia. I have literally done everything in my power. I've put myself in this position to be at the weight I am now, and although I don't have body dysmorphia, it's definitely different. I feel like I'm in a new body, and you know, I've been a consistent weight long enough to have gotten adjusted to it. But if I were the weight I was, like for example when I first moved here and I just woke up like this, it would be such an adjustment. But since, you know, I've had to work my way up to this weight, I've gotten used to, you know, the way it feels. Obviously heavier, that's not something that I notice when I'm walking or anything like that, but for example, if someone were to pick me up or something, yeah, I'd be heavier than I used to be. I feel like the main thing is just seeing how much my body has changed, because this is the heaviest I've been in my entire life. So things that I've noticed that are going to happen when you gain weight, since my legs have grown, my body has grown relatively quickly. I've, you know, gotten stretch marks in places that I've never had them before. I definitely have more stretch marks like underneath my butt cheeks that I've never had before. I officially have stretch marks in my inner thighs, which I've never had before. I've never been insecure about my stretch marks. Honestly, I think they're gorgeous. I think stretch marks are beautiful. They're sexy. Like, it's just giving grown. You know, even women that go through childbirth, a good majority come out with stretch marks because their body literally had to adjust and make space, and the skin had to stretch enough to hold a baby in it, and that's just fucking hard. I don't know, I've genuinely never had an issue with stretch marks, but I definitely noticed that I do have more. I have cellulite. I obviously have a much higher body fat percentage, so my stomach isn't as flat as it used to be. I don't have abs. If you are bulking, specifically dirty bulking, you're not gonna have abs anymore. Like, there's just certain things that you're gonna lose, and then, you know, people will go into a cut to get that back. I don't care to have abs. I don't care to be super lean or cut anymore. I love my figure now because I'm defined to where you could tell I work out, but I'm not like cut, you know. I have like a little bit of fluff, and I literally love it. But yeah, like my stomach, I can grab it. Like, I can actually not grab just skin, like I can grab fat on my stomach. It's just getting thick. Like,
and remember, these are things that the human body are just naturally going to go through, and that are totally okay. If you are going to gain weight, gaining 30 pounds, these things are bound to happen. I know I really hope y'all don't expect to just go to the gym, gain weight, and look like you had a BBL or something. That's just not realistic, and that's not how, you know, a natural human body looks or works. Like, that's just not gonna happen, babe.
Yeah, definitely an adjustment, especially when it came to my legs used to not rub together at all, and then it got to the point where they would chafe really bad, and now I have like permanent scarring in between my legs from them rubbing together, because sometimes it feels like fire ants are biting me as I walk. Like, I know I used to consistently talk about it in videos because I'm not used to it. I've never had that before, so I've had to, you know, find products that work for me and that make me more comfortable when I walk, because my legs rub together, because this is thick. So how to get used to this life. I wouldn't go to the extent of body dysmorphia. It's just different. I literally probably answered that question for like 20 minutes. I'm gonna have a lot of cutting to do when it comes to this video. How to gain weight, just answered that. Cuddle season is approaching. Should the hot girls be panicking? I am so like, I remember when I was younger, I'd say like maybe 14, 15, whenever it would come to especially holidays that have a lot to do with their significant others, such as Valentine's Day, Or like, yeah, you know, it's getting cold, you know, couples are gonna, you know, cuddle up and do their thing. I just like to think that there's so much more that comes with that other than just cuddling. You know, like, yes, us humans, most of us crave, well, it depends on the person, but like if you're someone that craves physical touch and you like attention in that way, then yeah, I can understand why you feel a way, but that should not make you feel pressured into literally any type of relationship, because I still fully believe that when the time comes, it comes, but don't settle just for you to have somebody for cuddle season, because no, like, they gotta work for that. How do you know when a guy is using you slash not that into you? I feel like this is something that you would just sense. I feel like for you to even ask this question, you probably have sensed it in a way, because, you know, if a guy was all about you and you were head over heels, he was head over heels, you wouldn't be asking this question. So it may be something that you're already dealing with to an extent, and I feel like it's easy to tell when someone's not into you, because you're not gonna feel fully heard, you're not gonna feel fully loved, you're not gonna feel like they're fully there, you're gonna feel like some of their attention is elsewhere. There's just certain things that if he wanted to, he would, and there's just certain things that you shouldn't have to ask for.
And if you find yourself looking crazy, asking for the bare minimum, please leave, because we do not have the time to train men. We just don't. Please.
I mean, some guys just aren't as verbal with their affection and, you know, showing that they care, because everybody expresses love in different ways. Using you, I mean, what do y'all do when you hang out? I don't know, because I mean, someone can use you in many different ways. I don't know if you're talking about sexually or not, but when it comes to sexually, I mean, if y'all can't hang out without him wanting to do the deed, and that's clearly not your first interest, or you're not really into it, yeah, I would say that's using you. If you feel like he's paying more attention to your body than what comes out of your mouth and, you know, your heart, like if you're just not feeling heard or seen or appreciated, then yeah, I would say probably using.
This is also why communication is so important, because, you know, you don't have to sit there and wonder. You can ask and just make sure things are very clear on what each other's intentions are. But I also do understand that sometimes people can lie about this and act like they want one thing when they really want the other. So it really all just falls back to how you feel around this person, and you'll sense it. Like, you'll know. I just feel like you'll know.
How do I set boundaries in relationships, in life, etc.? Setting boundaries is something that I've definitely prioritized the older I've gotten, and I feel like the best way to set boundaries is just understanding, like, once you really understand your worth, and even if you don't, I just feel like there's just certain things you just have to choose that you're not going to tolerate anymore. This is a conversation that you can have with the person about things that you're just not going to tolerate anymore, things that you don't appreciate or you're not comfortable with, and the moment that they've heard the conversation and they've crossed those boundaries, I mean, it's time to go. You have to, there's times where you're gonna need to choose yourself over the other person, and even if it's hard, you know, even if you don't feel like you deserve better, you should know that you deserve better. There's just certain things like you just can't let slide more than once, because the more that you let things slide, especially if you've clearly stated that, you know, you're not gonna tolerate this, they do it and you forgive them, they're gonna know that they can get away with it, and they're gonna keep doing things to see how far they can take it until you actually break. And if you want to avoid that at all costs, the moment you see that type of behavior, cut it off. What is your opinion on your significant other getting a girl best friend during a relationship? So this could go two ways from what you're saying. So if you meet a guy, and remember, this could go for guys or girls, whatever you're into. If you have met a guy and, you know, you get to know about him, his life, and, you know, who he surrounds himself with, and he already had a girl best friend, that's different. Because if you knew that in the beginning, that this was someone that was important to them, if that's something you knew and he already knew her before you guys got together, that's different. If that's not something that you're comfortable with, then go ahead and move on before you catch any more feelings, because the moment you have a conversation about it, they're most likely not just going to drop someone that they've known for years, maybe even since they were a child, for the sake of your comfort. They shouldn't have to do that. So like, if you know that's something you're not going to be comfortable with, you don't need to be with somebody that has a girl best friend to begin with. Even though I fully believe that for me, I am the best friend, babe. You know, like, I can't be the only one. Like, why would you have another girl that you like? If you got a girlfriend, like, for example, if I had a significant other, they would be the first person that I would want to. But going into a relationship, like, if you guys get together and then all of a sudden they come across someone that they become best friends with, that's weird, and I wouldn't let that slide. Because why did you go out of your way to find a new girl to be best friends with while we're in a relationship? That's not gonna cut it, because that's weird. And how'd they even find them? No, that's different, because at that point,
it's for everybody.
How should I make the first move on a guy? So I don't know, I feel like as a guy, I've heard And I just feel like guys would find it really attractive if you were to make the first move, regardless of how you make the first move. I don't know if you're talking about in person or through text, but if it's in person, girl, make that move. The same thing, like what you want them to do it. Especially if you know, if it's a mutual thing that you guys are feeling each other, you know that both of y'all are just kind of waiting for someone to pull the string. Go for it, girl. Literally just go for it. If it's a kiss, lean in for that kiss. Do it. I dare you. How long do you plan to live in Florida? Good question. I have no idea. Now that I'm here, I have absolutely zero desire to leave. I don't even know where I would live after this. So to answer your question, pretty long time. Like I can't really see myself leaving at this point. Have you thought about marriage? I mean, yeah. Of course I've thought about marriage. I've thought about the idea of marriage. I don't know, and the older I've gotten, like I've just seen marriage for what it really is, which is pretty much like a sheet of paper. I mean, marriage is a lifelong commitment, but I'm saying like it is also a piece of paper. But you know, obviously if I found my person that I knew I wanted to be with for the rest of my life, I knew that I wanted to have kids with, yes, I'm not gonna say I definitely want to get married, but I can see myself getting married. I can see myself having a wedding, definitely something a little more closed off and private. I definitely would not have some like big ass wedding. How do people even find that many people to invite? Is my question. Like I say I can see myself not getting married and kind of just doing my own thing, but I definitely at some point would love to have that companionship. As of now, yes, I can see myself being married. All of my friends are in relationships and it makes me feel insecure about myself. Don't. Because I can see you being in a friend group where everybody, you know, has their significant other and you don't, and you may feel kind of like you're third wheeling or kind of feel left out. But just because someone's in a relationship, that doesn't mean that they're any more worthy, any more suitable of, you know, having a boyfriend than you are. Yeah, I definitely don't allow that to pressure you to try to get into a relationship just to fit in with your friends. Like I said before, your time will come, and there's nothing wrong with not being in a relationship. There's really not. There's really nothing wrong. And I would hope that your friends are not the ones that are instigating you to make you feel insecure about you not being in a relationship. Like at least, girl, you don't gotta deal with the stress.
Like I've never understood people trying to compliment you by saying you're so pretty, why don't you have a boyfriend? What does my beauty, like what does my worth have to do with me having a you never considered that it's a choice?
How to talk to a guy you feel is way out of your league. First of all, he's lucky to even be talking to you. Nobody's out of your league. Okay, girl, you got this. You got this. I feel like what's very attractive, what a lot of guys find attractive, is confidence. Turn off again. Oh, my platinum. I would go into talking to this guy with the confidence that he's lucky that he is talking to me. Not in a cocky way, but just understand that you are a prize and he is lucky to even be talking to you. So basically flip the switch. Let's switch the roles, because you are worthy and you should never feel like, you know, you aren't worthy of talking to a specific person. And plus, the right person would never make you feel as if you're out of their league to talk to them. How would you go about your ex holding your things to keep in contact? Girl, fuck that shit. You better get a new shirt, get a new whatever it may be that he's got, or get somebody else to maybe get it for you, but don't allow that to be the thing that reels you back in, because yeah, I mean, they clearly know what they're doing. Don't let it work. Don't fall for it. Especially if it's something that has a value to you. They know that they still feel like they have a piece of you left with them. Like they still kind of have some sort of strings attached to you, because they still have things that you have yet to pick up. But the moment you just say fuck that shit, you can have it, there's not much they can do after that. Will we ever move back to NC? I've answered so many questions, I feel like. How to communicate that he's not giving what needs to be gave in bed? Girl, you better have a conversation, because you guys should both be satisfied and pleasure. Like by the end, it should not just be him being satisfied. You should be able to be satisfied too. It's either that, or he gonna have to deal with you getting in with a vibrator or something, because baby, if you ain't gonna do it, who's gonna do it? I feel like if you are with somebody that genuinely cares about your pleasure and your satisfaction just as much as they care about their own, you should be able to bring up like, hey babe, there's just like, you should be able to share things that feel good to you and that you'd love for him to do more of, or maybe things that, you know, suggest you try different things. Like you should be able to be honest and say this feels better than that, or I don't really like how this feels, because it should be a pleasurable experience for you both. And if he is emotionally mature enough, he should definitely be able to be like, yeah, like, you know, he should be able to have that conversation. How to find discipline for the gym plus eating more? I'm trying to gain weight. Hell, this is really all gonna come down to how bad you want it. because you're the one that is capable of making that change for yourself. You're the only one that can do that for yourself. And you know, the work that you put in is the results that you're gonna receive. So depending on how much work you put in, how consistent you are, is the output that you're gonna have. So it's really, how bad do you want it? If you really want it that bad, you're gonna put in the work to have those results. You deserve to be able to prioritize your goals and understand, like, you deserve to do this for yourself. And the moment that you're consistent and you start seeing that progress, it's like a drug. Like, damn, really? Like, that's what it's working? And you're just gonna want to keep going. It really just comes down to how bad you want it. Discipline over motivation, because motivation is gonna come and go. What's your opinion on hookup / sneaky link culture? I personally don't see anything wrong with it.
And by saying this, I mean, if that's the type of world that you're in, but I don't think it's good how a majority of our age range, or what's the word, like people our age, the way we're growing up, things aren't the same as they used to be, and it's really hard to find people in general that want to actually have some substance and a real relationship. So in that world, yeah, it's not it. But if, you know, you're choosing to place yourself in sneaky link culture, then I mean, do you, like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it can have its pros and cons, just like anything can, and it really depends on how you go about it, because it could be unsafe. I mean, physically in many ways, like such as catching things, and also it depends on who you're getting together with. Like you should really prioritize going about it safely, such as even location and just who you're meeting, because you really just never know nowadays. Like the actual idea of this, I think there should be no judgment around this whatsoever. As long as you're safe, it is consensual and it is mutual, I see nothing wrong with it. But in this world today, I would just really be careful who you decide to get together with, because people are so unpredictable and just cruel and just fucking terrifying these days. So I would just be really careful. Like, I know there's good people out there, but yeah, just be careful. Listen to your gut and don't be doing it the most for a link. Like, if it happens, it happens, but I just advise you, be safe and careful, especially with fucking monkeypox going around. Girl, I would be really careful. How do I beat a manipulator at their own game? Don't. You're giving them power and control over you for falling for their games and trying to counteract them and play along. Goodbye. Okay, go ahead. See ya. The moment that you don't give them that control and power over you, it's literally powerless. They have nothing over you. If you're capable and conscious enough to catch that shit, it's not something to play with. It's just not worth it. You know how much energy is being drained into doing that when you could be putting that into yourself and people that genuinely love and care about you? This question right here, interested in dating a female? I have never, like, I don't think I've ever spoken on this before. This is going to be the last question I'm going to answer, because I feel like I've given 40-minute responses for each question. But I've definitely, like, okay, I wouldn't say, how do I even go about it? It's not weird to talk about anymore because it's so normal at this point, but I've definitely had curiosity in girls for, I'd say, since maybe 2020 is when the spark, like, really, you know, like I consciously was like, I'm actually having that thought. I feel like a lot of people have just questioned, like, what would it be like if type of situation. And I guess it's more of like a curious thing. Like, if I had to actually label it as something, it'd probably be bi-curious, because I'm curious and there's no way I'm gonna be in like a settled down relationship with a man until I at least try anything with a girl. Yeah, I have to know, you know? Yeah, I just have to know. Because I don't know, women are just different. Like, they just have so many things that men don't when it comes to emotionally, physically, like mentally. They just got it. Like, women are just everything. So,
like, you know, sometimes you'll see a pretty girl in public and you'll interact with them, and at least for me, in my head, I'm like, damn, she's really pretty. But I feel like it's more than more than just like a damn, she's really pretty. Like
yeah, literally back in, it was like last year, no, it was 2020. I feel like that's when I actually tried to, like, explore the idea. Like, I was in communication with this girl, but yeah, like, I've communicated with girls, but nothing ever, like, came out of it. The most I've done is kiss a girl. But definitely curious, and definitely would do it again. But I love men also, so I'm not labeling anything at all because I literally don't know. But yes, honestly, I have been curious and I would have literally no issue kissing any girl. So, but obviously kissing is different than like moving forward. But I also like, I'm open, okay? Like, I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm a little fruity. I don't know, but it's definitely been a desire and like a question for the last 2 years. And that's another reason, like, I really just want to make sure that I stay single and I just explore everything that I want to explore. There's still so much I've yet to learn about myself. I've like shaved like half my legs, but there's just so much I've yet to learn about myself and that I don't know yet and that I want to try and do before I am in a relationship. Explore. And like, I've had this conversation with my friends before, like they know. But yeah, that's why I said like it'd be more of like, it's just a curiosity type of thing, because I don't know if I could actually see myself dating a girl. Like, if I were to be with a girl, I feel like I would want to take on more of like the masculine role, but I would be interested in feminine women. Like, I don't know, I think 2 feminine women together is just literally, I'm so jealous. But I also love the idea of feeling small and protected with a man, so it would definitely like change depending on the situation. But yeah, literally even my mom knows I've just never really said anything. I'm going to shave this arm. I gotta take a dump, to be honest, and I need to get waxed. Like, I let that shit grow out so long, which is fine, but I've heard like the longer the hair gets, the more it hurts. But then I've also heard the shorter the hair is, the more it hurts. So I'm just really lost. It's 7:43. Damn, we got kind of, how long have I been in here? My fingers are super pruny. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the bathtub and I'm gonna make dinner because I'm hungry and I've done really good with eating today. Living alone, it's actually a lot harder to eat 3 meals a day than you may think. And I think even not living alone, it could be a challenge. I feel like lunch is the hardest one. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to eat? A sandwich? I don't want a sandwich. But yeah, it's been real. This was so nice. Like, I'm so happy that we were able to just sit down and talk. And I feel like this video can spark a good conversation in the comments, like, where we can actually, you know, go back and forth opposed to, I don't know, it's just a much different vibe. Like, I feel like this is the first video. I'm not saying I'm not myself in my videos, but it's the first video where I haven't put on like a whole what do you call it, like, I don't know, it's just been real. It's been real. So I currently have no blankets on my bed because they're being washed right now. So I was supposed to be cooking, and yeah, it's nearly 9 o'clock now. That did not happen. I've just been laying in bed on my phone, and now I don't feel like cooking. I don't want like rice and broccoli. I don't want any of that right now. I'm just gonna order food instead.
So pretty. Everything is spend her truck with bullets. It's an AK in my hand.
So I got orange chicken. I don't normally even care for orange chicken whatsoever, but it just looked so good. It's like I want to like it. I don't know. I'm not really a sweet and savory type of gal. Ooh, that was strong. I normally like one or the other, but this shit, ooh, I'm eating this. Like, I can already tell. Can't go wrong with chicken and rice. It's so hot. You know the rice? Oh yeah, that is dreamy. Ooh, that's like exactly what I wanted it to taste like. Oh my gosh, day 8 down. I will be back for sure. This is actually my second time coming here. The last time I got the pad thai, don't recommend. I like pad thai, like, surprisingly, because I'm not even the biggest fan of peanut butter, but pad thai is supposed to have like a peanutty aspect to it, and it just wasn't giving that at all. There is a place though that I'm going tomorrow that has amazing pad thai, so I will be getting that there. I literally just got food and I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna eat tomorrow. Bye.